Welcome back to the Old Barn on Ann Street. This is a special edition, really a special month for the Old Barn on Ann Street because I want to tell you a little bit about the history of our town, a little bit about the Black Loyalist history of our town, because it was in 1783, as we've talked in many episodes ago, about when the Loyalists came and established the town of Shelburne. Previously it had been known as Port Roseway, and then when the Loyalists came at the end of the American Revolutionary War, they changed the name to Shelburne, and it became the town that it is today. But there were also amongst the Loyalists some black Loyalists, former slaves who had escaped slavery, fought for the British during the American Revolutionary War, and were promised freedom, land, opportunity at the end of the war. And that's a significant part of our history here in Shelburne. So during this month on the Old Barn on Ann Street, I'd like to start each week, each episode with a little bit of history of the Black Loyalist here in Shelburne. Now, to do this, I have in another project that I'm involved in, I have prepared some music videos that have history and music, 4 different versions of a little bit of the Black Loyalist history. And so I'm going to show you a sample of each of those each week. So today, I want to show you a sample of the very first video that we made, the one that introduces the story of the Black Loyalists and those who came here to Shelburne back in 1783. So here's the first one for today. I hope you enjoy this sample of the very first video. So here it is.
1783. It was a year of promise for the Black Loyalists. The Black Loyalists were former slaves who escaped their enslavers and fought for the British in the American Revolutionary War. In return, these former slaves were promised freedom, land, and opportunity. As they boarded, their names were listed in a historical document called the Book of Negroes. History has tried to forget or erase these names, but they have not been forgotten. Their names are cherished in our memories and recorded on the walls, the windows, the floors of the Black Loyalist Heritage Center in Birchtown, Nova Scotia.
As you can tell, that was filmed at the beautiful Black Loyalist Heritage Center, and I would highly recommend visiting that, particularly this month. There's a lot of events happening there for what we in Nova Scotia call African Heritage Month, but others, and many of you who are watching this where you are, it's Black History Month. So you could come and visit that. We would highly recommend it. If you want that full video or the rest of the videos, they're available on my website, panorama.com, and you can get those there. But for now, it's time for us to turn our attention back to the work we're doing in the barn and show you the work we did this summer and the next project in the barn. So let's get to it. So today we're working back in the classroom area. We've got quite a bit of it done and ready to go, but we're getting ready to put the finish, the insulate and put the finish on the walls. But we've decided to put a door in this window, to take this old window out. It's a terrible window when it needed a new window, but we're going to put in a new door, an old door, but a door in there so we'll have access there. This will make it convenient if we do have events in here, if there's any catering or something, they can come in and out that way. Give us another access point to the back of the barn, and it'll just finish us off quite nicely. So let's begin the process, and here we go. It was a pretty big job. That's as far as we could get in today's video, was removing the window and creating the hole for the door, and we got more work to do. So here's a clip from next week. So in the middle of this back room, there's this post that goes across, holds up the second floor, the flooring on the second floor in the loft. It's the main support for the joists that go across this way, and on this end it's got this post, visible post holding up that side. That one is not going to be covered over, but what we're going to do when we cover, we are going to insulate this wall, and then we're going to cover it with some of the old barn wood. But when we do that, we will lose the look of the post that's under there that we replaced. Thank you for joining us for this week's episode of the Old Barn on Ann Street. I hope you're having a good time. I hope you enjoy the winter time wherever you are. I know there's a lot of crazy, weird things going on in the world these days, but hey, you know what? Hang in there. We're going to get through this together, and we'll see you next time on the Old Barn on Ann Street.